Hi, and welcome to another presentation from your business tutor, learning your way, anytime, anywhere. In a world where the phrase, "I need it yesterday" exists, it can be seen why fast and effective distribution are important. This is why this presentation on direct selling is so relevant, as it will be looking at the shortest channel of distribution between a manufacturer and a customer. Okay, so what are we going to learn in this presentation? Well, first of all, we're going to find out what direct selling is. Then we're going to investigate the advantages and disadvantages of direct selling. And then finally, we're going to explore the different methods of direct selling. Okay, let's get started by asking, what is direct selling? Direct selling is when a manufacturer or producer sell their products straight to their customers, meaning wholesalers and retailers are not involved in this channel of distribution, as the diagram shows. Although direct selling has been around for a number of years via mail order catalogues and door-to-door sales, it is only in the last 20 that it has taken off because the internet has allowed many organisations to set up e-commerce sites to sell their products. Okay, let's now move on to look at the advantages of direct selling. Perhaps the biggest advantage of direct selling is that it allows a manufacturer to sell their product at full price to their customers. This is because by eliminating wholesalers and retailers from the distribution chain, a manufacturer no longer has to sell their product at a discount to them, meaning higher profits will be achievable. Better yet, by selling products directly, a manufacturer will gain access to the personal details of its customers, such as their email address and telephone number. This can be really useful because having such information will allow a business to send out market research surveys to find out what customers think of their products, but also promotions which may encourage sales. In fact, by being in direct contact with its customers, a manufacturer will be able to build a closer link with them, which should help maintain better brand loyalty. Moreover, having that direct link also helps in other ways, in that a business will receive immediate feedback on how its product is selling and hence will be in a better position to alter production levels to meet demand. This is quite an important point because when wholesalers and retailers are involved, there can be a delay in getting this information, meaning a manufacturer may be left with too much or not enough inventory. Another advantage of selling directly to customers is that it allows a manufacturer to provide a more personalised service. In that, when placing an order, a customer can ask for specific things to be added or removed from the product. As you would expect, this would not only be good for sales, as the customer is getting exactly what they want, but may also allow a manufacturer to charge a premium price. In fact, selling direct also allows a manufacturer to improve its service even further by being able to provide fast delivery to customers as well. This can be particularly useful for items that are perishable, in that if they get caught up with a wholesaler or retailer, the item would have a shorter lifespan by the time it actually got to the customer. And finally, selling directly to customers allows a manufacturer to control how their product is sold and promoted, which makes it far easier to create and maintain a brand image. Okay, let's now look at the disadvantages of direct selling. The biggest disadvantage manufacturers encounter when using direct selling is the cost of setting up such a system. For example, an e-commerce site may need to be created, or salespeople employed to go door to door. However, the costs of direct selling do not end there, in that a manufacturer will also have to pay delivery costs. Now, if the item being sent is small enough to be posted, these costs may be low. However, if the business sells bulky items, lorries, drivers, fuel and insurance will all have to be paid for, unless the delivery charge can be passed on to the customer. Even so, although delivery costs may be avoidable, administration costs will not, and in the case of a manufacturer selling directly, these can be very high. This is because instead of selling to one wholesaler or a few retailers, a manufacturer now has to process orders from thousands of different customers. Moreover, as the manufacturer is also now responsible for all the after-sales service, it can be seen that direct selling is costly to do well. Nevertheless, the challenges of doing business this way extend beyond cost. As with no retail presence, a manufacturer may find it difficult to get their product known. What this means is that sales may be affected due to few customers visiting their website or a low response rate being achieved from telesales calls and direct mail. In fact, due to this, a manufacturer may have to spend considerable amounts of money advertising to raise their profile so that sales are generated. Okay, so far we have looked at direct selling in a fairly general way. So let's now go into a little more detail by looking at different methods of direct selling, by initially asking, what is e-commerce? Probably the most popular way to sell directly to customers is through what is called e-commerce, which is where a website is set up to sell a manufacturer's products to customers over the internet. One of the big advantages of this is that an e-commerce site allows a business to sell its products worldwide to more customers. This can be really useful because increased sales won't just allow a business to grow its market share, but also will make its brand name known throughout the world. Better yet, by trading through an e-commerce site, a manufacturer will also benefit from being able to sell their product 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This can be really useful because it makes it incredibly convenient for customers to purchase a business's products, as they are not restricted to opening hours, meaning sales should rise. In fact, over the last decade, there has been a huge surge in the number of customers shopping online because of this very issue. Another big benefit of e-commerce is that it allows a manufacturer to keep its costs lower. In that, selling products using a website is a lot cheaper than setting up a network of stores or employing staff to sell directly over the phone or door to door. And finally, when a business operates online, it is much easier for it to collect customer information and undertake market research. This is because when an order is placed, the manufacturer will get access to important customer details such as their email and home address, which can then be used to send out surveys and promotional materials too. Better yet though, most e-commerce sites run cookies, which are small pieces of software that record how a customer uses a website. This is beneficial because collecting information on what a customer looked at and how long they spent viewing certain pages makes it much easier for a manufacturer to identify what a customer is interested in. As such, a business will then be able to create targeted promotions which appear on the website or which can be sent directly to the customer so that a sale is more likely to happen the next time they visit the site. Okay, let's now look at the disadvantages of e-commerce or selling online. One of the big issues of selling online is that it is expensive and time consuming to create and design a website which is easy for customers to use with search facilities, photos of products and online support. In fact, the expense of setting up online does not end there, as businesses have to spend considerable amounts of money keeping their websites secure from viruses and hackers attempting to access customers' confidential information. In fact, if a manufacturer does not do this effectively, it won't just lose the trust of customers, who will stop using their site as their personal details are not being kept securely, but also will be fined by the government for breaching data protection regulations. Nevertheless, even if a manufacturer creates a great website which is secure, it will still need to spend additional monies. For example, huge amounts will need to be spent on advertising the site to persuade people to use it, but also to make sure that it doesn't crash so that it is always accessible to customers. And finally, another big issue for online businesses is the cost of delivering items to and dealing with returns from customers. This can be very costly because systems have to be put in place to not only process all orders and returns, but also pay for the deliveries as well. In fact, because customers are unable to try what they have bought before it arrives, online businesses do tend to experience higher levels of returned items than normal shops. Okay, let's now turn to another method of direct selling by asking, what is mail order? Mail order is when a business sells its products using a catalogue which is sent to customers in the post. One of the big advantages of this is that customers can browse the catalogue in their own time and then place an order which is sent back to the manufacturer for processing. This is useful for two reasons. First, it is convenient for customers, which may encourage sales. And second, taking orders this way cuts costs compared to setting up a network of stores or employing staff to sell directly over the phone or door to door. However, although sales using mail order can be reasonable, as the catalogue is usually only sent out to existing customers or those who have requested it, a couple of issues can nevertheless arise. First, as customers will have been unable to try the products purchased before they arrive, the manufacturer may suffer from a high level of returns, which can increase delivery costs if returns are free. And second, as credit facilities are often used to encourage customers to purchase, it can mean that manufacturers that sell using mail order can suffer from high levels of bad debts from customers who cannot meet their credit repayments. Okay, let's now turn to our third method of direct selling by asking, what is personal selling? Personal selling is when a business sells its products either door to door or over the phone using a team of salespeople. One of the big advantages of this method is that a salesperson can use their personality and skills of negotiation to persuade customers to purchase, which could increase sales. This is especially the case with door-to-door selling, as the product being sold can be demonstrated if taken to a person's house, which will help to convince the customer to buy. However, this method can also struggle, as many people will just say no to a salesperson who arrives at their door without giving them a chance to explain what they are selling. In fact, this also holds for a salesperson calling someone at home, as often people will just put the phone down on telesales calls. Moreover, even if a potential customer agrees to speak, many salespeople have been accused of using aggressive selling techniques, which have given this method a negative reputation. As such, that, coupled with the cost of paying for a team of sales staff, means a number of manufacturers have abandoned this method of direct selling. Okay, let's move to our penultimate method by asking, what is direct mail? Direct mail is when a business sells its products by sending out letters, leaflets and brochures to people in the post. One of the big advantages of this is that specific geographical areas can be targeted by postcode, which means people who are more likely to purchase will get the leaflet. Moreover, as this method is fairly cheap, as it only involves posting out leaflets, lots of people can be sent information on a manufacturer's products. However, as the product leaflets have not been requested by people, it tends to be the case that when they are received, they are treated as junk mail and just thrown away. This means that sales are often disappointing when this method is used due to a low response rate from those sent the leaflet. Okay, let's finish by looking at our final method by asking, what is a TV shopping channel? Some manufacturers or businesses will set up a TV channel from where they sell their products directly to customers. On the channel, presenters will use their personality and presentation skills to show off the products and demonstrate how they work. As a consequence, many customers may be persuaded to purchase, especially as there are often deals and time limits which encourage customers to purchase on impulse. However, to run a TV channel can be quite expensive, as equipment, presenters and a production team will be required. Moreover, persuading people to watch and then remain on the channel while products are being demonstrated is challenging, meaning sales levels may suffer. Okay, so what did we learn in this presentation? Well, first of all, we found out what direct selling is. Then we went on to investigate the advantages and disadvantages of direct selling. And then finally, we explored different methods of direct selling. There is no doubt that direct selling offers significant benefits, which when coupled with the ever-increasing use of e-commerce means that it is becoming an ever more popular option for manufacturers to use. Nevertheless, it does need to be remembered that choosing a channel of distribution is not a black and white decision, in so much that a manufacturer may very well choose to sell directly, but also use retailers as well.